Hello and welcome to TheAstroPub, your space bar at the end of the universe. Today, we're going to start a new series I plan on putting out on every single ship in the Star Citizen universe. That's right, I'm going to be breaking down the use and value of every ship, its stats as of the creation of its video, and recommendations for their use. The goal of this is to be informative, entertaining, and give some insight into these vehicles from a middle point between pure sweat lord numbers crunching and pure vibes-based feeling analysis. So stay tuned for this series as it develops. For the first of these videos, I wanted to tackle a big question that hangs in the air with Star Citizen at the moment. A question that every new player asks when looking at the starter ships. Should I get an Aurora or a Mustang? To that, I will tell you the simple answer is to get a Titan. But that is the credit card go whoosh approach to Star Citizen, and you, dear viewer, are too intelligent, too beautiful, and too sexy to take the easy way. No, I know you're the kind to stand up for your introverted and polite friend who asked for no onions and demand the restaurant make it right. You are the kind to plan perfectly to have exact change for everything you purchase. The kind of person who always declares others to be fools to pay full price for a Ubisoft game when you know that you can wait a year and get it for pocket lint and some cheese. You are a thrifty person, and you know that with the right gumption and moxie, you can take a block of clay and turn it into pure art. So, my incredibly attractive viewer, let me give you everything you need to ensure you get the right ship to start your journey in the verse. To start, we need to make sure we're on the right page. The two ships we're talking about today are the Aurora MR and the Mustang Alpha, specifically in the context that they are ships that come with the cheapest starter pack as of the making of this video, around $45 USD. So we'll be examining these from that perspective. As I alluded to earlier, these ships are for the most basic of basic starter packages, designed for those who just want to get into the game and play around. If you ask around the community enough, most people will say to steer away from these packages, but I will be the first to say that these packages are all you need to get started. If you don't want to spend more than the basic package, don't feel pressured to get anything more than the starter pack. With that being said, the question remains, should you get the Aurora MR or the Mustang Alpha? Well, the answer is, it depends. So let's go over each, break down the advantages and disadvantages of each, and get you a better answer. Let's start with the oldest of these ships, the Aurora. First built in 2659, the ship has always been the basic option for ship travel for nearly 300 years in the lore. It is one of the most common ships in the verse, and as such is fairly basic in design. Affectionately called the flying brick, the square shape is broken up with a few small winglets to allow some lift, combined with the powerful and efficient main thruster and 11 maneuvering thrusters to enable flight in just about any conditions. Its compact size, coming in at 8.75 meters wide, 19 meters long, and 4.5 meters tall, is impressive considering it also has a built-in bed and is capable of transporting 3 SCU of cargo with its external rack. While it lacks any internal storage, currently it has enough internal area to drop a few smaller boxes if need be, making it versatile depending on what the ship is asked to do. That's the word I would mostly associate with the ship. Versatile. The Aurora really fills the jack-of-all-trades for the starter ship market, having enough capabilities to make it good for most PvE scenarios and having just enough teeth, with the standard coming with 2 size 1 weapons, 2 additional size 1 mounts, and a size 2 missile mount to put up a small fight with enough experience and good luck. It even has a slight buff, 3%, to its physical damage resistance, meaning it's tougher than the average ship. However, there are some downsides. The ship is comically underpowered. While it has some ability to upgrade its stock loadout, it's not going to win you many fights. Even its maneuverability is a joke, with currently a pitch rate of 46 degrees per second, a yaw rate of 46 degrees per second, and a roll rate of 140 degrees per second, making it a flying brick in more ways than one. To put that in perspective, the Avenger Titan, what most considered the superior starter, has a pitch rate of 53 degrees per second, a yaw rate of 49 degrees per second, and a roll rate of 180 degrees per second. Plus, the Avenger absolutely smokes the Aurora when it comes to weapons loadout, with more missiles and larger weapon mounts, plus more default weapons. Its exterior cargo grid also means that if you aren't careful, people might be able to steal your cargo from under your nose, as well as being one of the smallest counts for cargo hauling in its class. The lack of internal storage is also an issue when you start to advance in any profession that involves FPS. Add in the current questions around the value of beds in the game long term, and the Aurora truly is a budget vehicle which emphasizes the budget. With that being said, if you're looking for the best all-round starter ship at this price, with emphasis on the best bang for your buck, the Aurora MR is the ship for you. It truly is the no-frills everyman ship, the Honda Civic of the verse. It's reliable, easy to use, and while it's not going to win much in looks, speed, or a fight, it will do enough to get you where you need to go. Now, let's look at its newer and sleeker-looking competitor, the Mustang Alpha. Built specifically as a competitor to the vaunted Aurora, the Mustang Alpha is relatively new in comparison, only having been built since 2944, meaning it's less than 10 years old in the lore. Still, it has posed a strong competition in the starter market. With its foldable wings and aggressive aerodynamic design, the ship has almost all the same advantages as the Aurora in terms of compactness, with the added bonus of looking a lot cooler. Its size is similar to the Aurora, coming in at a width of 18 meters, a length of 21.5 meters, and a height of 9 meters, though is still bigger than the slim flying brick. It beats the Aurora with its 4 SCU of cargo, and that cargo is internal, stored in a deployable cargo pod in the rear. The Mustang also entirely smokes the Aurora in just about every other metric. It comes stock with a nose-mounted turret complete with 2 size 2 weapons, with additional 2 size 1 fixed points on its wings. It also is one of the most maneuverable starters on the market, with its pitch rate of 72 degrees per second, yaw rate of 54 degrees per second, and a roll rate of an astonishing 205 degrees per second. To put this in perspective, that is slightly better than the premier Aegis Gladius light fighter. I kid you not, this thing is more maneuverable than the best light fighter on the market. The Alpha is an amazing get for those who want solid performance for the price, with legroom to improve in both its components and weapons loadout. With that being said, it has some major downsides. Like the Aurora, it lacks loose internal storage for things like armor and weapons, and even lacks a bed, which may or may not be an issue later on. It is also entirely reliant on that cargo box for storage of even normal boxes for simple box missions. It even lacks missiles, while the Aurora can carry up to a single size 2. It is also more fragile than the Aurora, with a 45% damage resistance, meaning 5% lower than the average resistance, while also having a 5% debuff to energy and distortion damage. It even has a 30% debuff on its signature, meaning it's easier to spot across the board. Its only advantage over the Aurora in this field is that it has a 100% shield resistance multiplier stock, compared to just the 25% of the Aurora. All in all, the Mustang is clearly the more combat-focused of the two, with bigger focus on maneuverability and giving more pure firepower with its possible weapons loadout. Truly, the Mustang is the 30th century version of the Chevy Camaro, a car that every new soldier buys with their enlistment bonus. A basic vehicle that looks cool, handles well, but is effectively just an inefficient sedan with a cool-looking body on it. So, which is the better ship? The true and ultimate starter for the discerning cheap-ass, frugal gamer, it's the Aurora. It's always been the Aurora, it will always be the Aurora. That being said, it might not be the best choice for you, dear distractingly attractive and ruthlessly efficient viewer. While the Aurora is the best overall choice due to it being surprisingly tanky and extraordinarily compact, making it very forgiving of new pilots, it is very cumbersome, and its exterior loading is very tricky in comparison to the Mustang. The Mustang is just more fun to fly. It feels faster despite having the same top speed as the Aurora for the moment. It also feels like a dogfighter should. It is clear that its design is to emphasize combat and flight over its more simple rival. Its size is even close to other combat-focused ships like the Aero and Gladius, giving you about the same sort of feel as you're flying it. So if you're looking for the best all-rounder, get the Aurora MR. However, if you want to live more dangerously and feel like you're flying a ship designed to fight on the frontier, then choose the Mustang Alpha. I also want to emphasize that there's no wrong choice when it comes to choosing a starter. More than any other ships in the starter lineup, these two are built to be almost identical in terms of use. Just because the Alpha is more of a fighter doesn't mean it can't be used to haul. Just because the MR is a better all-rounder doesn't mean it can't brawl. It's just that the design of each ship emphasizes their roles very particularly, a lean in one direction or another rather than a specialization like their variants and other starter ships. So, that is the first video in this series covering every single ship in the Star Citizen universe. If you enjoyed it, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. If you want to see these videos early or just help the channel financially, think about becoming a member here on YouTube. Members also get additional perks when I live stream, which I do on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and Saturdays and Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. I play a lot of Star Citizen, but I also play other space and sci-fi games like MechWarrior, Helldivers, and more, so I'd love to see you come out. Thanks again for watching, and like I always say, hope to see you someday in the black.